What is up, people? This is NextGenNovelist, and I'm here making a Kingdom Hearts video once more because I've been seeing a bit of confusion around in the Kingdom Hearts community with the specific idea, which was an idea I stated in my previous two videos, but also I think other people have had similar ideas, and so some people are confused about how Yozora is mistaking Sora for the female Sora, his Sora, or how exactly he doesn't know who Sora is, because the line that a lot of people are hinging all of this on is when Yozora says that he's heard of Sora. Now, firstly, if I'm going to be honest, you have to remember, it's Kingdom Hearts. There's a lot of things that get said in Kingdom Hearts that don't really mean what they sound like they mean. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things in Kingdom Hearts said like that, right? There's a lot of things that are meant to be misdirection or red herrings. So sometimes you can't always take what's said too literally, okay? Especially not from a character like Yozora, who clearly is quite confused. So for starters, why would he be confused? Remember, his heart has been replaced with another's. But there's a key thing that the Nameless Star says that for some reason I forgot to mention in my videos, which is the Nameless Star says to Sora, were he to regain his old self, he would be distressed by my absence. Okay, you know what, I'm even going to put it in the video for you just so you can hear it from the horse's mouth.
Someone's coming for you?
I cannot be certain. He's been changed beyond recognition. His heart replaced with another's. But were he to regain his old self again, he would be distressed by my absence. So I choose to wait here, where he can find me.
So the Nameless Star says it herself. Now, the only thing you could argue is, well, who's to say that the Nameless Star is talking about Yozora? Well, everything the Nameless Star says about the person looking for her matches what we hear from Yozora himself. The Nameless Star says that his heart has been replaced with another's and that he has been changed and is no longer recognizable. Yozora literally uses the same word when he says, how did you recognize me as Yozora? Okay, because he's not supposed to be recognizable anymore, right? Another thing I've seen people say is that the Nameless Star told Sora the name of the person that she was waiting for, and that Sora doesn't mention this to Yozora, and that's not true. Sora is literally says to Yozora, oh, that's who the girl was talking about.
But wait, that girl, she told me about you. Maybe you are real after all.
Are you done?
Sora basically confirms for us that it's Yozora the Nameless Star is talking about. Sora basically confirms it, because if it was really Strelexia or anyone, if she had said any other name, he wouldn't say anything, right? The reason why he knows Yozora is the person that the girl was talking about is because the girl, the star, the Nameless Star, told him the name of the person she's waiting for. Okay, the reason Sora probably didn't react at the time and be like, huh, him, like, you know, because he knew Yozora's name by the time he met the Nameless Star. The reason he probably didn't react like that was because he probably assumed Yozora was a fictional character in a video game, and that the Star was just talking about someone who just happened to also be named Yozora, and that's it. So when he actually meets Yozora, he's like, oh, you are real, which he does say that. He's like, oh, you are real. Now, on top of that, how do we know that Yozora is talking about the girl, Sora, when he says he needs to save Sora? Because he does not know this Sora. He doesn't know him at all. When he says, I've heard of you, he's just talking about the name. And even then, I personally think he's just saying that because he doesn't want to give away his entire understanding of the situation. I think Yozora is confused, he doesn't know everything, and so he's being somewhat guarded about what he does know. Because if you even look at the way his response is, when he hears Sora's name, he's like, huh? Sora, you're Sora? He has a knee-jerk reaction, right? Which seems a bit out of character for him, because he's clearly supposed to be a cool, calm, collected type of dude. So the second Sora's like, oh, you've heard of me? He settles back, and then he's like, Sure, I've heard of you. You know, like he's just like, yeah. Like he's saying it in a way like, yeah, I've heard of you. Right? Because I think he's still processing what the heck is going on in that situation, but he doesn't want to give away that he doesn't know very much, right? So just to kind of cover this point again, remember the Nameless Star says if he were to regain his old self, he would be distressed by my absence. So we know that she's waiting for Yozora to get her, because I just explained how it was Yozora she was talking about, 100% certain. So Yozora is looking for Sora. He is looking for the Nameless Star. He is looking for her. He has to be, because otherwise the Nameless Star is just sitting there in the final world deluded, and Yozora doesn't care about her. That doesn't make any sense. He has to be looking for her, because she literally said that he's looking. The only reason he's confused, and she told us the reason he might be confused, because she said were he to regain his old self, he would be distressed by my absence. We know he does not fully have his old self because his heart has been replaced with another's, and we know that's still the case because Yozora himself has said that he is not recognizable as Yozora, which means that whatever his heart was replaced with, that's still the situation right now. So we cannot fully trust Yozora's understanding on anything, okay, because he's not even entirely himself. So we have to go based on the information we've got from both him and the Nameless Star, and based on the correlations and where it's linking up, it would imply he is looking for the Nameless Star, aka Sora, from his world, not Kingdom Hearts Sora. He doesn't know Kingdom Hearts Sora at all. Now, if someone else told him to save Sora, like the Master of Masters or Luxord, they might know that he's gonna run into this Sora. They might have meant save Sora from Kingdom Hearts, but he doesn't know that. Everything he does in that scene where he's talking to Sora shows that he's not even certain that Sora is the same Sora he's meant to save. He has no idea. He seems to be very confused. Okay, so something else that I'm seeing people say is that Yozora was told by Riku or Kairi or someone that Sora knows to save Sora. Okay, now here's my problem with this belief, right? Because what it's basically saying is that Yozora is knowingly trying to save Kingdom Hearts Sora, and he's not trying to save the Nameless Star, who I'm pretty certain is also called Sora. The problem with this idea or theory, and it is a theory, is the fact that there is absolutely no evidence to suggest this. The only thing you have is one little bit of dialogue where he says, I was told to save Sora. That does not mean he was told by another person. If you watch my previous video, I said it could have been him himself who wanted to save Sora as his own lingering desire, because his heart was replaced, and his old heart, his true heart as Yozora, might still be trying to save the Nameless Star. Okay, even the Nameless Star says that her heart pines for another, so similarly his original heart might be pining for her, and that's come through in his current form. So whoever's heart that's replaced his, or whatever's going on in that situation, the lingering desire he had to save Sora, his Sora, is still there. Okay, because at the end of the day, we know for a fact that Yozora is the person the Nameless Star is referring to. Okay, so that pretty much confirms as well then that Yozora is looking for the Nameless Star, because again, if he's not looking for the Nameless Star, which he might not be, because the Nameless Star does say she can't be certain that someone is coming for her, right? Because Yozora has been changed, she's not certain if Yozora will actually remember her and will remember to come and save her. That's why he's confused about who Sora is, because his heart has been replaced with another's. He even asks Sora pretty much at the beginning of their conversation, who are you? He doesn't know Sora at all. If Riku had told him to save Sora, if Kairi had told him to save Sora, if Luxord or anyone else had told him to save Sora, then I have to ask the question, why wouldn't they have told Yozora what Sora looks like? Why would Yozora be so confused about Kingdom Hearts Sora claiming to be Sora? Why would he be like, why are you using Sora's name? He would see him and immediately think, oh, okay, is that jacket, the big shoes? Come on, like, how many people in Yozora's world look like Sora? Probably none, right? So I'm sure he knows who Sora is the moment he's gonna see him, right? Or at the very least, once he finds out his name, he's like, okay, yeah, I've heard of you. I was told to save you, so that makes sense. Why is he gonna disparage about it if he's only got one Sora in his head and it's Kingdom Hearts Sora? Because it isn't. He knows another Sora, and that's the person he thinks he's supposed to save. So he's confused that he's bumped into some other person who doesn't look the way he's expecting, but they call themselves Sora. That's why he's confused. And again, if someone told him, if Riku told him, if Kairi told him, then why didn't they just tell Yozora what Sora looks like? Why didn't they say, yeah, he's gonna have a Keyblade, blah, blah, blah. And also another thing is, why does Yozora seem to be taking the matter of saving Sora so personally? Why is he taking it so personally? And then it also raises the question, why was the Nameless Star brought in at all? Because it's not Strelexia. It is this girl that Yozora is trying to save. That's confirmed pretty much. It is the girl Yozora is trying to save, right? But whether or not he remembers he has to save her is the part that we're not certain about right now. But based on all the evidence we have, it would seem to me that he knows he needs to save someone that's called Sora, but clearly he doesn't know who exactly that is, because he's probably forgotten because he is not entirely himself. So we know the Nameless Star needs to be saved, and we know Yozora is trying to save someone that's called Sora. And I want to just mention this again. The tagline for Virum Rex, okay, says, reclaim your heart. The Nameless Star says that she lost her heart, and she says that the person looking for her, again, Yozora, has had their heart replaced with another's. I know I'm repeating myself, but I just want to make it very clear. So, if the tagline for Virum Rex is reclaim your heart, the Nameless Star has lost her heart, and Yozora has lost his heart, then it makes sense that he has to reclaim his heart. Also, it could be a double entendre. Reclaim your heart could also mean reclaim your love, as well as actually reclaim your literal heart, okay? Or I guess it could be like a triple entendre or something, because he'd be reclaiming his heart, he'd be reclaiming his lover, and he'd be reclaiming his lover's heart. So, you know. So in terms of the heart thing and Yozora having his heart replaced with another, think of it like Sora and how he had Ventus in his heart and Roxas, right? Think of it like that, because he had Ventus and Roxas as a part of himself, right? Now, Sora was still himself, but because Ven was part of him and because Roxas was part of him, in Dream Drop Distance, he sees Aqua and Terra. He doesn't know them though. Remember? He doesn't know Aqua or Terra at this point, and yet he sees them in Dream Drop Distance, right? And he also sees Shion. And when he sees Shion, again, he doesn't know Shion. But it's obviously because Roxas is part of him, that's why he sees Shion, but he cries, remember? He cries. And then even Sora's like, huh, why am I... He doesn't even know himself why he's crying, right? So that's just proof from the actual lore that when someone has other people as part of themselves, that other part can still live on. We saw it with Terranaut as well, the same type of thing, right? Xehanort residing within Terra, and it creating this weird kind of confusion within them, to the point where Terranaut lost his memories and took on the identity of Ansem eventually, right? So when someone's heart has been replaced with another, as the Nameless Star says, it can lead to a lot of confusion within that person, yet they can retain some parts and information and memories from their previous selves. So I think that's everything I wanted to cover in this video, and I'm sure that makes enough sense now, but I just wanted to clarify that because I've seen some people weren't entirely sure how exactly any of this made sense. So hopefully that clears it up, but I'm sure there will still be some stuff people are going to disparage about, which is perfectly fine. This is what's good about having these kinds of things. It's creating discussion, it's creating stuff for us to think about, and that's good. So if you have any opposing thoughts, or if you are still unclear on anything, leave it down in the comments below. I'm more than welcome to hearing whatever you guys' thoughts are. And that's all I've got to say, and I'm out. Peace.